Okay, finally, Jesus Christ. Okay. Um, third time's the charm. First time I messed up the stream key. Second time I messed up I was on mute. So, welcome to another episode of uh, market trading on Tone Vays YouTube channel and geopolitical discussion. It is unreasonably hot here in North Pennsylvania in the woods. Usually it's nice and breezy. Uh, if you look next to me, you will see that I have a fan, even right there. Let me see here. There it is. There's the fan. Was chopping wood all morning. You can see the wood is being put to use behind me. I gotta keep an eye on that temperature. We are just under 300. Been barbecuing 3 days in a row. This is the third day. Today is smoking ribs day. Yesterday was, oh man, if you guys follow me on Telegram with my stories or Instagram, made these beautiful ribeyes yesterday. It was freaking awesome. Mm. What are we drinking today? We are drinking Guinness. Man, I missed a beer on a hot day in uh, it's a mug that has like water in the middle of the mug that freezes, that keeps your beers nice and cold on a hot day. All right, so I got this stream going super late today. I am very limited on time. We're gonna go glance at the price chart, and then I can't talk about the Israel situation because I am with family members where I am definitely not in the majority. I am actually the outlier in my views on the Israel-Gaza situation, so I can't talk about that, or you guys going to see an object, sharp or whatever, being thrown right at me through the camera from the other side. Uh, Talking about the Russia-Ukraine topic is also a little bit sensitive. That one, it's about 50-50. So we try to stay away from that topic so that half the family doesn't kill the other half of the family. But everyone's on the same page that Joe Biden is a senile communist. So that discussion has free bounds on my opinions when I'm out here on a family holiday. Okay. Alpha, you mentioned this company. No more yelling at me for wearing a tank top. Well, this is a tone-based channel, and it's freaking hot here, and I'm outdoors. I was thinking of doing this with no shirt, but I don't work out enough for that. Maybe next year. Okay, let's go to some screen share and go from there. All right, guys, this is more of a Q&A show. I don't have any moderators that can join the YouTube stream. Okay. Let's look at the charts. We begin with the weekly chart. Let's begin with the monthly chart. The monthly chart is in the middle of a 1 to 4 monthly correction. This is a very smooth downwards channel. We are holding the downwards channel right now. This monthly candle has just started. We're about 6 days into the candle. We can still close significantly lower. I would love to avoid a monthly star candle, which we probably will. Weekly chart. And guys, please check out the Financial Summit channel. If you are interested in trading analysis, we're going to look more at the Biden-Trump situation. This is the weekly chart. This is starting to look like a reversal candle on a weekly scale. Nope, that's not the tone-based volume. The tone-based volume remains red, but it's very possible that the tone-based volume can turn green here. And if the price of Bitcoin goes up any higher, it can turn green. I would love for us to stay inside this channel. Would be great if the low is already in. That would be nice. Right now it's 57.9, almost 58. I think if we get back to the $60,000 range, it's one more shot for people to get out. I am in 100% cash, but the trading picture has turned very ugly with the moving averages trending down. We got a green diamond on the daily, according to alphanumetrics, and Matt McGregor is watching the show right now. Satoshi Corner is asking, have we seen the bottom? I don't know. I'm leaning towards we have not seen the bottom, but I am not confident in that statement. We bounced right off the acceleration line. We didn't close below it. We got a green diamond. That's good. We have massive resistance at 61,000. So unless we're breaking above 61,000, I cannot assume that the low is in. Short-term chart, we bounced off of the candle following the second consecutive MRI on the 4-hour. We just got a green star candle. This is looking good. I think we can make it to 60,000 and a half, but that's probably going to be it. I think Bitcoin will struggle breaking 61,500. Let's look at the 1-hour chart. Beautiful MRI buy right at the low. Beautiful take profit MRI sell. Entry on a green star. Exit on a red star. Entry on a green star. And right now we are rocking and rolling. I think Bitcoin will make it to at least 59. I think 59 is very, very likely here over the weekend. And after that, somewhere from this area, I believe Bitcoin is going to, okay, why are you not drawing? Bitcoin is going to struggle. I think it's going to be a struggle. You're going to have a double resistance right here at 59 on a 4-hour. 59 is going to be just under the moving average and just under another MRI resistance line. My temperature is going down to 200, and I do need to wrap these ribs up. So I am literally down to 20 minutes here. It's just a beer. It's impossible to get a buzz with beer. I'm gonna need like 12-pack to get a buzz with beer. Ah. A girl's hip hop world says, Tom Hugard, don't know him, mentioned TD sequential on a 1-minute time frame. I'm not a big fan of TD sequential on a 1-minute time frame. So MRI with 2 goes above 1, finds huge trend with little risk and stop below 1. Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. Okay, gold. Look at gold pop. Wow, how about that? Oil. I did want to see where we are in the oil reserves. Let's go and check that out. Test email went long at the 1-hour MRI buy. Great, great trade. Let's see what the Biden administration did last week. So, do I have the 621 number? Let's find out. 621, I do not have. And I got to toss more wood in. Yeah, I got to toss more wood in. Give me 1 second here. I don't have 621, and we also have 628. So we got 2 numbers right here. Let's get these into our spreadsheet. Boom, 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 boom. Oh, uh-oh. Why isn't anything working today? There we go. The Biden administration continues to buy oil into the Strategic Petroleum Reserve, and they bought a lot. Right here, they purchased quite a bit. That's interesting. That is interesting. It's the biggest purchase they've done, actually, ever. Literally ever. Wow. Huh. No wonder the price of oil is rising. If Biden's going to buy oil like that, yeah, it's definitely rising. Gold is looking great, very bullish, and S&P and Nasdaq have topped. MRI weekly tops. All right, guys, come up with questions. I'm going to add some wood to the fire here. No, I'm going to leave it open so you can kind of see what's going on. All right, yeah, I gotta wrap up the ribs and then we're gonna play some cards. Man, I've been playing cards with a family this whole weekend. It was a lot of fun. Ocean mining pool. Hey, we just found a block. That's great. Ocean is finding more blocks these days. Guys, you should get in on the pool. You can also see the hash rate is slowly getting up there. They're finding a lot of blocks these days. You may want to jump on a bandwagon here with ocean mining. Let's talk about the funding, not the funding rate, the rate cuts. As you can see, there is only an 8% chance that they will lower the interest rate this month. I believe they will lower it in September. Right here, this is actually what's winning. I agree with this. This is what I argued against Joe Colasari, that if there is a lowering of the interest rate, it will be in September. I actually think it will only be in September. I don't see it being in November because that's election, and I don't see it being in December because it makes no sense. So September is the only time they can lower the rate. Are you surprised that shitcoins are still a thing? A little. I see all kinds of crap being pushed on Twitter. That I'm not surprised. Well, yeah, let's talk geopolitics. Let's talk domestic geopolitics. Joe Biden is, man, he's getting more senile by the day. It's absolutely incredible how they're letting him decide if he's going to continue with the election. What I really think is going to happen, and what I can see happening, it's hard for me to say it on this channel because the channel could be banned. So, the higher the unemployment rate climbs, the greater the chances of a rate drop. That is true. That is true. The unemployment rate should have been announced yesterday. What was the unemployment rate? Let's see. Let's go check the unemployment rate. Unemployment 4.1. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. They might have fudged the unemployment rate a little bit in order for the unemployment rate to look worse. It's not really much of a difference here, but it could be enough for them to lower the rate in September. VanEck will run a Solana ETF. Yeah, of course they will. Guys, they will run a BitConnect ETF if they could. They're just making money from fees. They're going to cut. They're not going to cut this month. They'll cut in September. They'll cut in September. Market is going to dip in August and September. In September, they're gonna cut. They'll show a 4.3% unemployment rate and they'll cut in September. I don't really have much to say on geopolitics either today. Other than we gotta wait one more month and then fireworks are gonna take off. Guys, if you haven't yet seen my interview with the Prospera CEO, Eric Bremen, it's an absolute must watch. I have a whole playlist about Roatan and Prospera. I will be going back there soon. I'll be going back there later this month. And then after Unconfiscatable, Unconfiscatable is in September, by the way. Mid-September is Unconfiscatable. It's in 2 months. Unconfiscatable is 2 months away. Go to the Tone Vays. Well, you should go to unconfiscatable.com, actually. If you want to purchase the MRI, go to MRI Indicator. Yeah, Unconfiscatable, right there. Come join us in September. Sign up to play some poker. It'll be fun. Thoughts on MSTR? MSTR follows Bitcoin. Here's our event. It's only $300. I can't make it any cheaper. There's even going to be food. I can't make it any cheaper. And of course, Financial Summit. Come join us in the Maldives. All right, you want to talk about how the breakup of the US is going to happen? What I need is I need to find an image of the US that I could kind of mess with. Hold on a second here. Do I have a US map? USA map. Images. I need a map of the USA that I could color. Here we go. That's a good map we can color. Oh, perfect. All right, I'm gonna save a copy of this, save image as. USA map, states and capitals, beautiful. Okay, and now what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna open this, but I need to open it in my favorite application, which is Paint. We're gonna open this in Paint. Yeah, I only have like 15 minutes, and then I gotta wrap up the ribs, and then we're gonna start playing cards. Okay, we opened it in Paint, but you can't see it yet. I'm gonna stop the screen share. I'm gonna open a different screen share. I'm gonna open my monitor here. Okay, so, and now we're gonna make this slightly smaller. There we go. And now let's talk about how I think the US split will be. We're gonna go with red states and blue states. So I think Texas, whoa, that is super bright red. A little too bright. Let's use orange. Ah, that's better. So I think Texas is going to lead the charge in breaking from the US. And Texas is not going to do it alone. Oklahoma will instantly join Texas in US secession because it makes absolutely no sense. As much as Oklahoma and Texas hate each other, but that only relates to sports. They actually kind of like each other. So off the bat, these two states are going to merge and secede. They can go their separate way later. Now, as this is happening, Florida will absolutely also look to secede. The reason is because these states, Texas and Florida, can be self-sustained. Okay, Texas has the oil, it has the infrastructure, it has an outlet for international shipping out of the Gulf, and Florida and Texas has the military to block the Panama Canal if the continental US pisses them off, and they can dominate the Panama Canal. Uh, in fact, if Texas wanted to take over Panama, I don't see what can possibly stop them, right? If Panama, say, blocked Texas's uh, trade route, and they can also go through Mexico, right? You can easily build a railway through Mexico to have an outlet to the Pacific Ocean. Now, if Florida decides to join Texas, they would need a bridge between the two. Georgia and Alabama, no problem. They will easily join Florida. Arkansas easily joins Oklahoma and Texas. They border each other. Now, in this scenario, what do you think Mississippi and Louisiana are going to do? They really have almost no choice. They can stay with the communist blue, or they can join this alliance and merge them all. And I believe that's a no-brainer. These two states join Florida and Texas. They join the new coalition. Obviously, South Carolina will get in on this. So will Tennessee. So will Kentucky. So will Missouri. So will Kansas. Absolutely no-brainer. These states will join them. Okay? Now, what is North Carolina going to do? North Carolina can go both ways. I personally believe North Carolina will want to join. They are south of the Mason-Dixon line, and I believe they will join the alliance to secede. This is starting to look exactly like the 1800s secession. I hate calling it a civil war because the South never wanted to rule the North. They just wanted to be left alone. Not sure about Georgia. Yeah, it'll be Georgia. I mean, look, people from Atlanta can just move. Atlanta is surrounded. See, the problem is you have these pockets of Marxism, but if your pocket of Marxism is surrounded by people with guns and capitalists, they will let you get the fuck out. And you can go to California, you can go to New York, you can go to Chicago, you can go to Maine, you can go to Canada, you can go to Colorado, you can go to any other Marxist state you like. But Atlanta will not be able to fight the rest of Georgia, okay? I believe that there will never be another protest in Washington, D.C. I was at the last protest in Washington, D.C., and the last protest in Washington, D.C. will be the final protest to ever take place in Washington, D.C. All future protests will take place at the state capitol. And if the governor and the state senators and the state House of Representatives do not go with the people and the guns of those people, then they will be kicked out, literally put on a bus like the migrants, and shipped up to New York. Okay? That's what's going to happen. Virginia can go either way. Virginia may create a brand new border and leave Washington alone. I'm going to say if this is becoming a thing, okay, what's going to happen is Virginia will join. They will probably, everything south of Richmond will join. So this one becomes tricky. Let me undo this one for now. What I'm going to do is I am going to grab one of these squiggly lines, and I'm going to draw it from here. This is not going to be easy to draw. Let me give it a shot here. Why is it not drawing? Is it this? There we go. So what I need to draw is a line like this. And like that. Something like that, right? Chicago is up here somewhere. And now it would go through a little bit north of it'll capture a little bit of Ohio. So what I think happens now is, now I grab this, and I think most of Illinois is going to join. South of Indiana will join. South of Ohio will join. South of Columbus will join. A part of West Virginia will join, and a part of something like this, okay? Only a little bit more of Ohio, right? So maybe, let me try this one more time. Indianapolis might be screwed. So something like, let's try this line again. Let's go like this, and now we're gonna go like that. That's better. And now we can color this in. A little more Indiana, a little more Ohio, a little more West Virginia, and a little more Virginia. Something like that, okay? This is joining. There will be a new border. Guys, the borders between states and the borders between countries are not Bitcoin transactions. They move every minute of every day. They move and they alter. Now, what's going to happen to Iowa? Iowa's joining. What's going to happen to Nebraska? Nebraska's joining. What's going to happen to South Dakota? Joining. North Dakota, joining. Montana, joining. Wyoming, joining. Idaho, joining. Now we have an issue, okay? New Mexico and Arizona. New Mexico is, for some crazy reason, is Democrat as fuck, okay? Arizona had a fake governor election. I'm pretty sure Arizona's joining, and then New Mexico has no choice. Between Arizona, Texas, and Oklahoma, New Mexico gets funneled in. Okay? Colorado is going to split. Colorado is going to completely split, and so will Utah, and a part of Nevada. So once again, we take a line, we're going to draw a line, we're going to split Colorado. And we're going to split Utah. And we're going to split Nevada. Like this. Well, Vegas is going to stay communist. So it's going to be something like this. Vegas might get split in half. Okay? And these areas are going to join as well. Okay? And this is going to be your new nation. And eventually you drive out the hippies out of Denver. Okay? It'll take some time. So now there is a chance. There is a small chance. And this needs to happen. So the only thing that this new country needs, and it needs it badly, it needs to annex a piece of California. Everything south of Los Angeles, right here. Something like this. This new country needs to annex South California, south of LA, okay? By taking south of LA, you now have a very important area, absolutely critical, right here. This is an outlet to the Pacific Ocean and trade with China. Super important, super important. This becomes an absolute must, okay? You're also cutting off the communists from trade with Mexico. But they can technically still trade with Mexico by ship, if they like, you know, like that. Into the ports, into the LA port, right? Like that. They can still trade if they like, but not a big deal. This is how I think it will go, okay? I think there is a decent chunk of Minnesota that is going to want to join, and a chunk of Wisconsin that's going to want to join, okay? So, again, these states will get split. You let the conservatives go to the new land, and you let the communists stay with New York. Pennsylvania screwed, New Hampshire screwed, and everything else is communist anyway, so it doesn't matter. Okay, but there was a chunk of Minnesota that isn't. Okay, so they're gonna want to have some access to the lake, so we can draw something like this from here to here. Minneapolis can stay blue. Something like this. And now this area is going to want to join the new land. A piece of Wisconsin, people are not going to want to move out of Wisconsin. But so Wisconsin will need to be split. Milwaukee's was a very nice city. Madison's the capital. They'll probably, I mean, I don't know how right-wing it is, but I don't know whether Madison will stay either way. But again, we're going to split the state. We're going to split another state. Something like this, maybe. I mean, they're going to want to get to Chicago, right? So something like this. See, this country still has an outlet to maritime trade with Canada. And that's it. There's nothing else you can do. This is why I never understood why the libertarians love New Hampshire. You're surrounded by Marxists on all sides. Can't go anywhere. Madison is super liberal. Okay, so then I made a mistake. So then, if Madison is super liberal, then it's going to look something like this. Then it's not going to capture Madison. Ah, missed it. Let's try again. Something like that. There. Okay. Something like that. The orange area can be called Jesus land. Sure, you can call it whatever you like. You can call it whatever you like. You can call it the return of the Confederates. I mean, you can call it whatever you like. It doesn't matter. This is where I'm going to want to live. I don't care what it's called. This is where I'm going to want to live. They can call it on CNN whatever they like. They can call it skinhead land. That's what they will, right? They can call it whatever they like. They can spew all kinds of propaganda. This is where I'm going to want to live. And I think eventually, this, well, honestly, I think the more of Colorado is going to go to here. They're going to kick the hippies out. Colorado used to be the most conservative state in the nation, and then they legalized weed, and half of California moved in, and it became the most liberal state in the nation. Oh, don't worry. CNN is going to come up with very creative names. Alaska becomes its own country, and Hawaii becomes its, well, Hawaii gets taken over by China, becomes its own country, eventually taken over by China. All right, guys, it's time for me to wrap the ribs. And this is how we're going to end it. This is what I think the new country will look like. And like I said, eventually, they will take Colorado. eventually all of Colorado will go back to being conservative. And the majority of Utah. Eventually. Salt Lake City might stay up there. And that's it. And then these guys can do whatever. Oh, wait, I forgot something. These states would also get split. So this also becomes, Northern California is actually pretty conservative as well. So this will also go orange. Forgot about that. This area will also go orange. I think eventually, all of this will go. Eventually, all of this becomes orange. And that's it. And then they're going to split up. And then they just need to join forces in order to leave the nation. And then they're going to go their separate ways. And then I think later on they're going to split up. But it's hard for these countries to split up, these states to split up. They have no Mississippi River for geographical advantages, and they have no outlet to the ocean. Only Florida and Texas and Mississippi and Alabama have the advantages here. And that's it. All right, guys. On this note, I'm going to call it a day. Time for me to continue cooking. We're at 58,000. It was a fun little stream. Martin Armstrong agrees. I haven't read his blog in months. Months. All right, guys. Time to go. Talk to you all on the next one. Bye, guys. Gotta go tend to the ribs.